Mars in show of force against North Korea.
That's another whole topic.
So I want a president who wants to not disarm us.
A lot of people are wondering, well, what is North Korea? They're just a little rogue nation. How's that tied into prophecy? Let me tell you how it's tied into prophecy. Because North Korea is directly connected to China. China backed them in the Korean War. They gave them arms. They gave them economic aid. China and North Korea have embassies in each other's nations. They have emissaries back and forth. They do trade with each other. China and it depends upon North Korea for some protection in its areas of its border. Same with North Korea with China. So they're connected. But now in the Middle East, for the first time in history, China has a military base in East Africa that services the Middle East. And that just happened about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago. And they're sending troops into Syria, matching them up with Russia. And Russia is connected to Iran. Perhaps Magog or Gog and Persia connected, Ezekiel 38. And now, just 3 days ago, Pastor Jim, it was in the headline news, China and Iran are conducting war games together. So you've got Russia connected to Iran, Russia connected to China, China connected to North Korea. Iran is connected to North Korea. That was in the headlines a few weeks ago. They're swapping nuclear technology back and forth. Russia's giving nuclear technology to Iran. Obama, with the nuclear trade deal with Iran, basically opened the path for them to have I'm telling you, it's a spider web, but it's all connected. North Korea's in the middle of it. It's extremely prophetic. The Middle East is imploding. Syria is the center of it all, which is what Isaiah 17 said. Israel is surrounded by enemies. Turkey is collapsing into an Islamic caliphate. We've got a president who wants rule of law and strong borders, and none of the powers that be will allow him to do it. We've got a shadow government that's been trying to destroy us for decades, telling him what to do. We're on the brink, folks, and 90% of America's pulpits are never mentioning it. And Pastor Jim, if I may, I just want to wrap it up and put a bow on what I was saying about all of that's happening, because it is so prophetic, brother. So people say, well, what's North Korea? Well, now we know the connections. And now we've got was it yesterday, America shoots down a Syrian war jet?
Yes.
Then Russia steps right in and says, if you do that again, we're shooting you down. So today we kind of challenged Russia, and we sent some and we shut down a drone, we sent jets back in. Guys, this is the stuff that world wars are made of. This is how it happens. This is how it happens. And so we're at the brink, and I'm not wishing for war. I'm not a warmonger. I pray for peace every day, but I'm watching Israel surrounded by enemies, the Middle East imploding, all of these connections, North Korea, Syria, Russia, China, Iran, Turkey, Israel there, Donald Trump, Brexit, globalists, demons, witches. I mean, rule of law being thrown to the ground, truth being thrown to the ground. We are living in the most prophetic time since the first coming of Jesus Christ. Israel has resurrected. Jesus is on his way back, and we're somewhere in the middle there. And that's where we are. And the church had best wake up. Pulpits had best wake up. And I'm not saying walk around wringing your hands. No, we've only got a few decades to live if we're blessed. But be ambassadors. God has called us to be the salt and the light.
Yes.
He has called us to be the ambassadors for His kingdom. He has raised us up for such a time as this. This is our generation. This is our time to shine. I know the mantra of America is make America great again. Hey, I'm all for that, but I say make the kingdom of God on earth. Make the church great again. Pulpits wake up. Pews wake up. We're living in prophetic times, and this is the time for which you have been raised up. You've been raised up for such a time as this. Thank you, Pastor Jim, for letting me say that.